Greetings! I shouldn't joke. Today's video, again from the car, because it's the only way I seem to be able to find time these days, is about Chapman Guitars and MILTON Guitars, and a little post that I've seen from back in May on the Chapman Guitars forum. Yeah, hi folks. So, as I say, this video is about MILTON Guitars and Chapman Guitars, and the suggestion that was made on the Chapman Guitars forum in May this year, that somebody just pointed out to me, that perhaps MILTON was a rip-off, a copycat of Chapman Guitars, and I just want to set the record straight. When I first set up my YouTube channel, checking out these Chinese guitars for you and trying to help you not to get ripped off, I decided that it would be very difficult for me to tell people not to buy them if I wasn't offering a viable alternative. So, first thing I must state is that the entire premise of MILTON Guitars is to provide a viable alternative to people buying Chinese fakes. And the other thing that I can categorically state is that while I was aware of Rob Chapman's YouTube channel, and I'd seen many of his videos with Lee Anderton demonstrating gear and the like, I wasn't, at the time that I started MILTON Guitars, aware of the modus operandi of Chapman Guitars. So the fact that I was aiming for collaborative design, and also the coincidence that I happened to call my first prototype the MT1, which simply stood for MILTON Telly 1. There would have been an LP1, MLP1, there would have been an MS1, so for Les Pauls and Strats, and an MP1 for probably a PRS style guitar. But as it was, as soon as I realised and was pointed out to me that, in fact, I think it was on the video where I showed the first prototype, and somebody made a suggestion of moving the M up to the 12th fret, and when I did that and showed the second prototype, somebody made a comment that that was very similar to Chapman Guitars. So I then went and checked it out, and as soon as I knew, I changed the name of the MT1 to the, I forget what the horrible name is I've used, but I'm looking for suggestions. So if you've got an idea what we should call the first MILTON prototypes, I'm really up for that, and maybe we'll set a competition with a prize. So put your answers below in the comments. So anyway, yeah, I had no idea that I was kind of putting something together that was relatively close to Rob Chapman's idea from many years before, that incidentally he had done fantastically, and I'd never want to compete with, and am not in a position to compete with. For number one, as somebody put on the forum over there, I'm just a general ordinary guy, working guy. I work 9 to 5. I've got 3 beautiful kids, but the only thing that they got wrong in describing me over there is I'm not whipped by my wife if I don't lay the table each evening. That was what somebody said. You compare me to Rob Chapman, and I could never compete with Rob Chapman on any level with regard to playing, with regard to the contacts he's got, all of that. He's done incredibly well, and hats off to him. and I've no intention and have never had any intention of trying to compete with that. The sole purpose of me producing Milton guitars was so that I could, without hypocrisy, suggest to people don't buy guitars, fake guitars in China, when I can show you this equally cheaply priced alternative, and I've actually done something about it. So there we go. No, Milton Guitars isn't and never was intended or setting out, or will never set out, to compete with the likes of Chapman Guitars and other small brand guitars. I suppose our only competition is the fakes, the Chinese fakes, and that's what I hope to be able to find for you. I'm approaching a couple of other guitar manufacturers in China at the moment with a view to getting another prototype made, because the reason I haven't put any Milton guitars out for sale yet is because, and simply because, I can't yet guarantee the quality and quality control to a standard where I'm willing to put my name to it. So they're not on sale. As soon as I can get a manufacturer that I can trust, I will get them on sale. The idea, I think, don't hold me to this, but what I would like to find is a manufacturer that I can trust enough for them to send the guitars direct from China to you in order to keep the cost down and more than competitive with the Chinese fakes. Because if they have to ship them in bulk to me first, so that I set them up and noodle about with them before shipping them out to you, that's going to add a triple shipping cost to it and won't be cost effective in comparison with the fakes. So as you can see, that's why it's doubly important that I find a manufacturer that I can trust and that I can verify the quality controls on. When I find that manufacturer, I'm going to go out and meet them in China, and I'm going to go and have a look at their factory, because every time I get a prototype made or I approach a factory, I ask them about their worker ethics and their human rights. I ask them about their sourcing of materials and whether it's sort of a sustainable or legal, I should say, source, because let's face it, no hardwood is a sustainable wood. Well, it is a sustainable wood, but it takes hundreds of years to grow to the size that we need it. So I'm looking for them to be sourcing their materials and their labour ethically, and as soon as I can find that, I will be doing a line of guitars, and they will be under the Milton brand, but they won't be at the price point nor in the style or competition with Chapman Guitars. I really like Chapman Guitars. I would like to try one myself actually, and I may well get one to review for you at some stage. But in the interim, the answer to the question is no. And I would just like to extend a word direct to Rob Chapman, so that if he ever gets to watch this or somebody posts it up as a response on his forum, just so that he knows, I'm not looking to compete. In fact, quite the opposite. I would really like to make contact with you, and I have a proposal that I'd like to put to you, Rob, about how we might be able to work together on this separate brand of guitars from China, because I know that you're building in Korea very successfully at World Musical Instruments, and I have no intention of treading on the toes of that either. I want to try to keep manufacturing in China, and I know you had issues with that, but I'd be very keen to talk to you about the pitfalls and to put this proposal I have to you, because I think you might be interested. Anyway, there it is, a quick response to the Milton Guitars versus Chapman Guitars question. And if you have any comments, please pop them in the comment section down below, and I will try to keep on making good quality videos. Another thing that was said on the Chapman forum was that I put in a lot of unnecessary nonsense.
So, Fat Man, who is this China guitar skeptic fellow?
I have absolutely no idea, but I am gonna subscribe to his channel.
Oh, good idea. You know what? I might even join you.
That my videos are rubbish, and I guess every site and forum and YouTube channel gets its trolls, and Chapman Guitars are no exception to that. But I'm doing the best I can as just a normal, hard-working 9-to-5 allegedly. I wish I did only work 9 to 5 guy from the UK who enjoys playing. That's not ever going to be the player that Rob Chapman is. I think his skills are outstanding, and I wouldn't begin to compare myself with that. I'm just an ordinary guy who loves to play. I've been playing for 30 years, and I've been noodling around with making and setting up guitars and building parts guitars for almost as long, and I hope to continue for a long time to come. Main thing that you get from me, folks, as always, is the God's honest truth, direct to you. If I don't know for sure, I'll state that it's a belief, not a fact, and anything I know to be a fact, or anything that I find, I will be honest with you about. So there's the answer. Anyway, till the next video, take care.